And you guess how many slices of pizza are eaten in the United States every second? 1 slice, 10 slices, or even more? You might be surprised, but the answer is 350 slices per second. That's right, 50 cheesy, mouth-watering bites every single second, in a country where pizza has become a culinary religion, a national comfort food, and for some generations, an essential part of daily life. Pizza isn't just food, it's a late-night memory after a long shift. It's the irresistible aroma sneaking out of a freshly delivered box. It's the fusion of food technology, pop culture, and untold stories from massive factory lines hidden behind that golden crust. So, what makes pizza a global icon, and how do factories produce millions of pies every day while still preserving its soul? Let's begin our journey into the heart of the magical machines that make the perfect pizza, from the very first ball of dough to the final layer of melted cheese. But first, drop a number in the comments. How many pizzas do you think Americans eat each year? Don't Google it, just take a wild guess from your gut. Pizza, that seemingly simple round dish, actually carries a cultural journey that spans centuries. Starting in the lively cobblestone alleys of Naples, Italy, back in the late 18th century, poor Neapolitan workers needed something cheap and portable. Their solution: flatbreads topped with tomatoes, olive oil, garlic and herbs, the earliest form of pizza as we know it. But it wasn't until 1889 that pizza had its turning point. When King Umberto I and Queen Margherita visited Naples, a local chef crafted a pizza using 3 colors to represent the Italian flag: red from tomatoes, white from mozzarella cheese, and green from fresh basil. That creation became Pizza Margherita, a humble yet proud national symbol. The 20th century marked a major shift as Italian immigrants brought pizza to America. In cities like New York, Chicago, and Los Angeles, it quickly evolved. Pizza became Americanized, turning into a national favorite with thick crust, stuffed layers, stretchy cheese, and toppings never seen in traditional Italian kitchens. Today, pizza is more than just food, it's a pop culture icon. From Hollywood movies to birthday parties, from family dinners to solo Netflix nights, the image of a round pizza with gooey cheese isn't just about taste, it's about sharing, comfort, and connection. And behind every pizza, whether handmade in a cozy shop or mass produced in a frozen food factory, is a journey of remarkable engineering and automation. So how does the modern food industry recreate the soulful spirit of old Naples using robot sensors and systems capable of churning out millions of pizzas daily? The answer begins with the most essential ingredient: flour, and that very first ball of dough. If pizza were a symphony, then the crust would be the opening note: precise, smooth, and full of emotion. In today's world of modern industrial food production, where millions of pizzas roll out every day, crafting the perfect crust is no longer a manual task. It's a highly sophisticated process driven by technology, automation, and near-perfect precision. It all begins with flour, a seemingly simple ingredient that serves as the soul of the pizza. The flour is carefully selected based on its fineness, moisture level, and protein content to ensure the perfect elasticity during kneading. Inside massive industrial mixers, the flour is combined with water, yeast, and a few secret ingredients according to a proprietary formula measured down to the gram. Even the slightest deviation could alter the texture of thousands of pizzas to come. Once mixed into a smooth, supple dough, it begins its journey across conveyor belts dusted with ultra-fine dry flour, a thin snow dust that prevents sticking and helps preserve the dough's shape. Automated rollers come to life, pressing each batch into long, silky sheets. Under the rhythmic motion of the rollers, the dough stretches gently, soft as a breath, forming the delicate base of every future pizza. But appearance isn't enough. The thickness has to be perfect. The size must be uniform, not even a millimeter off. That's why the automatic cutting system slices the dough into flawless circles, as if shaped by a compass. Excess dough is neatly collected and sent back through a smart recycling system, where it's reintegrated into the mixing station to form the next batch, an efficient, zero-waste process that preserves both structure and sustainability. Next, each dough round passes through a spike drum system that pricks tiny holes across the surface. These micro-perforations release steam during baking, preventing bubbles and ensuring even crispness on the surface. Every step Every detail is designed to create a crust that's golden and crisp on the outside, yet soft and airy inside, the essential foundation of every perfect pizza. In the realm of industrial food production, there isn't just one formula for making pizza crusts. Instead, two main shaping technologies coexist, each with its own philosophy, balancing speed and precision, high-volume efficiency and environmental responsibility. The first method, which flattens dough into long sheets and cuts them into rounds, is commonly used in high-capacity factories. The dough is rolled out into smooth, uniform ribbons, then passed through round cutters like precise stamps, creating bases as consistent as if they'd been molded. The trimmed edges are swiftly collected and recycled into the mixing process, giving rise to a new batch of dough. This isn't just a cost-saving measure, it's a clear commitment to sustainable production and the reduction of food waste. However, reusing leftover dough isn't as simple as it sounds. To maintain quality, the recycled dough must retain the same elasticity, moisture, and physical chemical properties as the fresh batch. Even the slightest variation can result in an imperfect crust. That's why many modern factories are shifting to a different method, forming dough into pre-measured round balls and then flattening each one using a high-pressure rolling system. With this approach, there's no excess, no recycling, and no risk of texture inconsistency. Each dough ball is like a gem weighed with gram-level precision, then transformed into a perfectly round, silky smooth crust with uniform thickness. The only trade-off is slower speed, but in return, this method maximizes resource efficiency, reduces costs, and appeals to today's environmentally conscious consumers. No matter which method is used, the goal remains the same: to create the perfect foundation for a pizza that's not only delicious, but also responsible to the planet. After passing through mixing, rolling, and shaping with precision, the crust enters a critical phase, the magical transformation inside the industrial oven. Here, the temperature is meticulously controlled, typically around 450 degrees Celsius, and that's the sweet spot, high enough to create a golden, crispy exterior, yet gentle enough to preserve a soft, aromatic interior. Just a few degrees off and the crust could turn out too dry or underbaked, ruining the entire culinary experience. In a modern production system, the oven is no longer just a metal box radiating heat. It's an automation marvel, dozens of thermal sensors, humidity monitors, and smart controllers work in real time, tracking every second of the baking process. Robotic arms adjust conveyor belt speed and evenly distribute hot air, ensuring every crust, start to finish, comes out with the same perfect golden brown finish. And when those freshly baked crusts slide out of the oven, something unexpectedly manual happens: visual inspection by human experts. These experienced specialists, whose eyes are as sharp as high-resolution cameras, scrutinize every single crust. The color must be even, never burnt or too pale. The size must be precise to the millimeter, and there must be no warping or deformation. This harmony between smart machinery and human intuition creates a dual standard where technology and emotion come together. Because pizza, even when mass-produced, is still a food of feeling. And that feeling is only complete when every foundation has been carefully crafted down to the finest detail. So when the perfect crust exits the oven, it's fully ready to welcome its vibrant toppings, rich tomato sauce, bubbling cheese, and a cascade of flavorful ingredients. When those perfectly baked crusts roll out of the oven, still warm and fragrant with the scent of toasted dough, they're no longer just a foundation. They're blank canvases waiting for color and flavor to paint the final masterpiece. And that journey begins with a vibrant red-based tomato sauce, rich, thick, and spread with just the right consistency, as if guided by an artist's hand. But in reality, it's robotic arms at work, precisely programmed to leave no spot untouched, ensuring every millimeter of the surface is evenly coated. Next comes the part everyone waits for: the cheese. Blocks of rich, creamy cheese are fed into high-speed shredders, transforming them into delicate strands, soft as the first snowfall, uniform, airy, and ready to melt perfectly under heat. Every gram is carefully measured enough to melt and spread beautifully, but not so much that it makes the crust soggy. Just a slight miscalculation could throw off the entire experience of that first bite. And then the stage is set for the true star, the toppings, the soul and personality of every pizza. From spicy pepperoni and smoky bacon to fresh mushrooms and vibrant bell peppers, Each ingredient is automatically selected and arranged across the surface like an abstract painting in progress. Intelligent robotic systems don't just follow recipes, they distribute ingredients in a pattern that mimics the randomness of a human touch, creating a natural, handcrafted appearance. This blend of artistic inspiration and cutting-edge technology does more than ensure consistency at industrial scale. It gives each pizza its own personality. Some are bright and colorful with vegetables, others are bold and meaty with layers of cured ham and pepperoni, and some are minimalist, just sauce and cheese, but still completely captivating. All of it leads to one shared goal, that moment when someone opens the box and feels joy, not just from the taste, but from the colors, the aroma, and the anticipation of that first perfect bite. It's this fusion of smart machinery and human finesse that creates a dual standard where precision and emotion meet. Because pizza, even when mass-produced, remains a food of feeling, and that feeling is only complete when every foundational detail is carefully crafted. So when the perfect crust leaves the oven, it's finally ready to welcome its vibrant topping, rich tomato sauce, melted cheese, and a cascade of bold flavors. It all starts in the vast farmlands of California, where golden sunshine and nutrient-rich soil help plump. Ruby red tomatoes grow to peak ripeness. When harvest season arrives, 48,000-pound trucks begin their journey to the factory, carrying the fresh essence of the season. At the plant, the tomatoes are unloaded into large water-filled channels where rocks and heavy debris naturally sink. Next, they're blasted with high-pressure water jets and industrial-strength rinse that removes dirt, residue, and even loose skin. Then comes the blanching stage, where hot water softens the skin just enough to peel easily while preserving the juicy flesh underneath. The freshly cleaned tomatoes are pureed in a high-speed grinding system, ready to blend with a flavorful mix of ingredients: extra virgin olive oil, finely chopped onions, and fragrant minced garlic. Everything goes into a massive industrial kettle and simmers gently until the aroma rises like a rich, savory symphony. Seasonings are added in precise proportions: salt, pepper, and dried oregano, each measured by calibrated sensors to ensure every batch of sauce carries the perfect balance of mellow acidity, savory depth, and that unmistakable Italian herbal flair. The result is a velvety, vibrant red sauce that captures the spirit of the Mediterranean, ready to flow over each pizza crust like a warm embrace. And on the assembly line, every crust is dressed in that rich tomato layer, spread evenly to the edge, not too much, not too little, just like it was applied by the invisible hands of a master chef. And just like that, each pizza, after its long journey from tomato fields, golden wheat, creamy cheese, dough-rolling machines, blazing ovens, and colorful toppings, is now ready to appear before you. Piping hot, aromatic, perfectly round. A small gift from the heart of the modern food industry. Most of the time we eat pizza without thinking, grabbing the first slice during a busy evening, a movie night, or a gathering with friends. But after today, maybe you'll see your pizza a little differently. Every slice is the result of hundreds of people, thousands of steps, and a whole ecosystem of coordinated engineering working in perfect harmony. And most importantly, pizza always shows up where joy lives: birthdays, family reunions, holidays, lazy weeknights. It's more than a meal. It's a symbol of sharing, of connection, of the little happy moments you might not notice until there's no one left to share them with. So how about you? Do you love the artisan-style pizza crafted by hand, or the magical convenience of a perfectly made frozen pizza? Share your pizza story in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to Factory Wonder Us to keep discovering the untold secrets of the modern food world.